As man's evolved, we've adopted tools to help us work smarter and hopefully more efficiently and effectively, and technology has been a key component of that. Along the way that communication, it's not advancing. There we go, okay, find my pattern. Communication has evolved in a similar pattern. At the beginning of time, or communication as it originally started, had cave paintings where we captured real events for future generations to be able to look at and to understand historical context to. Advance forward several years and we get to the Pony Express, where we're sending mobile cave paintings across the US in 10 days. But there are risks associated with this. So while we've advanced and we can share much more timely information with people, we're still struggling. There's still this added risk factor. And in 1876, the phone's invented. Now we can have that one-on-one conversation with someone, but there's a lot of planning and work that has to happen so that we're in the same place at the same time and can both be on at the same place. So in modern context, we get the introduction of the mobile phone, enabling us to share that personal information with whomever or wherever we are, and we can do it on the go, and we no longer have to plan as much to have these in-depth conversations. So in the modern world, we can really see that the phones have become so cheap that they're everywhere, and you can't walk out of your house anymore without seeing a whole bunch of people using their cell phones all the time, constantly. And there's this overarching belief there that that has given us freedom, that we now have the freedom to be wherever we are, to communicate with whomever we want, whenever we want, and wherever we are. And isn't this freedom great? And with this new freedom, what do we find ourselves doing but sitting at tables with our families still and not talking to each other, not talking on our phones, but using our phones to communicate with other people or to play games, to text, to put posts on Facebook, to share with other people, when in fact we could be sharing with the others that are right there at the table with us. So here's a humorous look at the iPhone and how it's used. You see that the #1 thing that the iPhone is used for is playing Angry Birds, followed by playing on Facebook. The very last thing the iPhone tends to be used for is actually talking to people. Because why would you need that anymore? Here's where we get into the actual statistics of the presentation, with the average American spending 2.7 hours a day socializing on a mobile device. That's twice as much time as we spend eating and 1/3 of the amount of time we spend sleeping each day. We have so much great information we need to share that it takes all this thought and concentration from us that 86% of that communicating tends to happen while we're watching television. It's very important, we need to update people both with what we're watching and how our day's been, and, what better way to get through the commercial breaks? And with this, we always have our mind or our eye on the most used or the most common forum for these exchanges, with 800 million users, according to Facebook itself. Facebook definitely is the dominant place where these interactions are happening. The user has 345 friends. Each one of those friends has 282 photos. Making 6 billion photos a month that get uploaded to Facebook. Just picture how many photos that is actually, which takes us back to the whole cycle of the cave dwelling photos. So let's look at some of the images we're sharing today. We've converted phone booths, which no longer have a meaningful purpose for us because we all have mobile phones, into libraries where people can come and exchange books. People share photos of kids. I personally love it when your kids are reenacting scenes from an Alfred Hitchcock movie or being attacked by birds or other animals. I mean, how great is that? That definitely deserves a like from me. But it gets better. It gets better because now when you see that random thing that you will only see once in your life, a white, pimped out Darth Vader, you can share that with modern context and add your own messaging to the top of that. I do find your lack of style disturbing. But some people, Amy Ledoux, where are you? This one's definitely for you. Prefer to dress up dogs or look at photos of animals dressed up, also as Darth Vader. Again, I mean, how fun is this that we get this idea about what is really passionate to people and what they're really excited about in a way that makes us see the humor in it. So you're a little more highbrow and you prefer to get news through the social channels when you're communicating. Here's Barack Obama telling us or reenacting scenes from his favorite movie, captured on the White House lawn, shared by the White House-owned Facebook page, allowing us to see a more personal side to him. Later, this was transitioned into storyboards with 2 action figures by other people who were reenacting Barack Obama fighting Darth Vader. You can add in the own storyline for yourself, but I think that there's numerous options there. So with all of this freedom and all of these images we're sharing, we're still strapped to the one thing, which is about signal strength. With no signal strength, we can't communicate via our phones anymore, and we're forced to go back to the old school method of actually talking to each other. So with that, thank you very much.